Okay, first of all, we have f of x is 2x plus 5. F of 3 then is going to be 2 lots of 3 plus 5. Well, that's just 6 plus 5, which is 11. Okay, quite straightforward. The inverse function, to find that, remember we write y equals 2x plus 5, and then we're going to rearrange to make x the subject. Well, first of all, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So y take away 5 will equal 2x, and then to get x on its own, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So y minus 5 divided by 2 is equal to x. Now remember, this is the inverse function, but the inverse function has to be in terms of x. So I'm just going to replace that y with an x. So the inverse function is actually x minus 5 over 2. Okay, so we have g of x is x squared minus 25. So g of minus 3, well, we're going to replace x with minus 3, so that's minus 3 squared minus 25. Well, minus 3 squared is 9, and 9 take away 25 is minus 16. Okay, next bit, gf of x. Now remember, to find gf of x means that we do nothing with the g, so we write g of, and then f of x is 2x plus 5. So we're going to find g of 2x plus 5. Well, we know that g of x is x squared minus 25. So g of this thing is going to be this thing squared minus 25. So it's going to be 2x plus 5 squared minus 25. Now they ask us to simplify as much as possible. So if I remove the bracket, I've got 2x plus 5 times another 2x plus 5. And I'm going to write the minus 25. Now if I remove the brackets here, 2x times 2x, well that's 4x squared, plus these two multiplied together, 10x, plus the inside ones, that's another 10x, plus 25, but then it's also minus 25. Now those two are going to cancel each other out, so we're left with 4x squared plus 20x. Okay, last bit, we're asked to solve gf of x is equal to 0. Well, this is my gf of x, so I know that 4x squared plus 20x is equal to 0. Now it's a quadratic equation. I'm going to solve it by factorising, by realising that there's a common factor on the left-hand side here, and the common factor is 4x. So if I take out 4x from, think what I multiply 4x by to get 4x squared, well that's just an x. And then what do I multiply 4x by to get 20x? Well that is 5. So I've now got these two things multiplied together, and the answer is 0. Now remember, the idea of a quadratic equation is there's our multiplication sign. Either the thing to the left of the equal sign is equal to 0. So either 4x is equal to 0. Well, if 4x is equal to 0, if we divide both sides by 4, it's fairly obvious anyway that x is 0. Or it could be that the bracket is equal to 0, which means that x plus 5 would have to be 0, which means that x is equal to minus 5. So there are two solutions. Either x is equal to minus 5 or x is equal to 0.